Majora's Mask, everyone.
Boy, a sequel that didn't need to happen.
We're gonna have some words, it seems like, today. Here on ZZZ.
Dreamcast Kampy and Dreamcast Super MC Gamer.
That's right, we're your hosts here on the
Xylite Zone, Zaga, ZZZ.
ZZZ, everybody. Welcome back to the ZZZ.
Welcome back. Alright, today we're talking about everyone's most talked about game, Ben Drown, everything going on, Spooky Spaghetti going, Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64.
This game is quite literally, I think, in the Zelda fandom, the most underrated and overrated game. That's what everybody's like, it's underrated, and then some people are like, it's overrated. It's like, it's been so underrated, I don't think it's rated anymore. I think it's fallen into its own plane of existence.
It's in that ultra fan category, like even more than Ocarina. Like if
you're a Majora boy, you're a Majora boy.
Yeah,
I feel like Link's Awakening people can be like that too.
Yeah, no, definitely Link's Awakening. That crowd's pretty small, but boy, are they very passionate.
If you like Link's Awakening, you will not stop telling me.
Yeah,
it's like if you're lactose intolerant.
All right, so I'm lactose intolerant. 9 categories. We've done a couple of these so far. Check them out. Description, everything like that. On Super MC Gamer's channel. All that fun stuff. 9 categories. Total out of 180. We're able to give extra points, 10 points per Triforce piece.
I'm currently sitting at 6 left out of my 9. And you still got like 7?
Yeah, I think so. And then
you got 6 as well. Did you use 3?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where mine went.
We'll figure it out.
I'll use 2. I don't know where the other one went.
Oh, we had 8. We had 8. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 8. And then we have saving graces, essentially. Heart pieces. So they're able to void out the other person's vote for one category. So it would be the same vote points that you would do. Cool, let's start with the first thing, box art.
The first thing you see.
The first thing you see. Expansion pack
I knew you were going to say it!
Expansion pack required to play this game. Actually, so I played this game for the first time not so long ago, okay? I got this game, I traded a piece of pie, or actually a whole pie. And I got it, got my N64, don't have an expansion pack, put it in, expansion pack required. It was the first thing it told me to play the dung video game. It's already selling you, not only on the same things Ocarina of Time did, right there, it's telling you all that stuff. Collector's edition as well.
So this box cover, I think it's better than Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
In terms of like it has color and the logo is really well designed for it.
Blow it up on the screen for me, thanks.
It doesn't have holographic.
No.
It's unfortunate, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's got a lot more like it's the first one with like they strayed away from Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Which is very good. Like this is like. They're doing like items or something like that, like kind of main things that are going on in the story. So you kind of want to wonder like, what the heck's going on?
What's going on in Zelda? Why is the logo's purple as well? First time the logo changed color.
Yeah, crazy different colors
red.
Going on.
Look at him on the side though.
Yeah, no. Young Link on this is pretty neat. He look really cool right next to other Link. Cool. Let's look at the back. We got 5
screenshots.
5 screenshots.
Okay.
The official Nintendo Power Guide. They're selling you already on a guide. Already. Alright, so there's some bullet points. There's nothing big that's like catching my eyes. Again, for this game.
Expansion pack required.
So it shows Ocarina. So it shows you can play the Ocarina again.
Yep.
What are you there? You're just what the heck's going on?
You're a floating hat.
Skeletons. What's going on with the moon? And what the heck's going on right there?
Are these also beta screenshots? No, I don't think they are.
No.
Yeah, the moon's eyes are just dark.
Yeah.
It's just printed dark.
So for the front, it's fine. The back is kind of, like, there's nothing that's really drawing me in besides the scary images. And that's going to be, like, a main theme with this game. It's meant to be very dark. And
it's different.
And different.
And I think it marked itself well by, in the entire Zelda lineage up to that point, this was a very different box art while being similar.
Yeah, like I said, it set a precedence for like having different things, like different items and stuff like that, that are supposed to be like in the game and stuff. And so you get the focal point of like, wow, this has got to be a main thing. What's going on with this? And you find out really early. Bunker's fine. Like it's okay. It's one of the better ones for being unique.
NSYNC 7, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Story: you fall in a hole and Link dies. Good night, everyone. Ben drowned. Goodbye.
It's such a good story.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. I don't think it holds like what Ocarina of Time did for me or other Zelda games. I think it's really unique and I think it's cool. It just, to me, it doesn't hit a lot of like. This game gives me more anxiety than anything, and I'll talk about that more like this first time and stuff like that. The story's cool. I just didn't really care about Majora or anything, like Skull Kid or anything like that. I didn't really feel like attached.
So Majora as a villain is kind of weak because, in my opinion, Skull Kid is very scary, but like Majora kind of does come out last second, and we find out he was like a cursed object. I think that's fine, but I mean, like, if we want to talk just as an aside about why I think the story is strong in this game is because of the stakes. No other Zelda game has stakes this high, where you feel like Ganondorf's gonna rule the world. Yeah, well, don't worry about him. I'm gonna go, catch some chickens. In this game, it is literally like, the world is gonna end. The world is going to end when this clock runs out, and you need to stop it. And at first, before you find out you can just time travel and slow down time and all this.
You're filled with dread, anxiety, and stuff like that.
And that's emotion and a story that I've not seen. And I still think that Zelda misses sometimes.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And then if we talk about side quests, some of the best side quests in Zelda are...
No, it's got really good side quests.
Anju Cafe is out of this world.
I just feel like this game very heavily relies on its side quests compared to its main quest line.
Oh, no, absolutely. I agree with that.
I feel like just the main story of retrieving the mask and like getting this cursed mask back is so weak compared to the rest of the game, where like there's so many strengths on this. And I usually don't give Majora's Mask like a ton of praise, but I think the masks make the game, and I think that's like the most important thing. I don't even call it like the gimmick, because I feel like the time traveling thing is the gimmick, but like I feel like the side stories and all the characters you meet, even though like a lot of them are saying like, "Hey, I know you from Ocarina of Time. What the heck were you doing here?" Like, there's so many really cool, neat little things going on in this world that I'd rather focus on those little things.
And I think those are part of the story. The story encompasses the entire game's lore. Not just the main story. Like, when we talk about Breath of the Wild, I'm going to be talking about like side questy things.
Yeah, but I feel like just the side quests just make it better for me. I'd rather...
Yeah, and you should rate it accordingly. I feel like.
That's according. 9.
I'm considering a 10, my guy.
Oh, you go ahead. The main storyline blows.
It doesn't. Macau has such an emotional thing. Darmani has an emotional thing. Stone Tower's a little weak. I could care less about the skeleton fellows, but
I just had no attachment besides to like everyone else in the game. Like everyone else was so cool. Give it a 10. Go ahead. I know you're hesitant on giving a 10 because I saw you're like,
I haven't given a 10 for story yet.
Yeah, and that's really rough because like there's a really good game in my opinion that deserves a 10 too. But okay, world. So it's very similar to Ocarina of Time. Obviously, it's a very sequel.
I think they did. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They revolve everything around Castle Town, which is going to be like your Clock Town or whatever, which is your Hyrule field.
Yeah,
which is fine. They do the same kind of thing from there. Underwater sections always suck, and that's just like the thing we just started realizing more.
Both it and 3D, where it kind of was made worse.
Yeah, so it's just like the best part. I think Overworld was a lot better than Ocarina of Time. Like, it just felt more vibrant.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
The important change, like so when we were talking about your criticisms of Ocarina of Time's world, where I was very supportive. But I think it solves a lot of your issues so imagine in Hyrule Field if instead where Lon Lon Ranch was, if that was Castle Town.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it'd be so much better as like a hub of quick access, and also you started. Yeah. Like if Kikiri Forest and Castletown were smushed into one, and we're long ranches, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I like how you start, and then once you get out, you're just like, that's a big circle around me. Like I can go in any direction. Whereas,
but you can't.
Yeah,
you find out you can't.
Yeah,
which almost makes it Minish Cappy.
The world seems small. The dungeons feel large, but the world seems smaller than Ocarina of Time to me. I just feel like everything's just like you're there every time because there's no second world essentially like that. So the game world just feels really small. There's no extra second things like growing adult, Dark World, and stuff like that. And
when we're rating the world, I'm not rating its size either. I feel like because it's smaller and they do so much with the story.
It's very intimate. It's very intimate. It's a very intimate game.
Yeah. Termina feels like a very passionate world.
Yeah. And that's why I go back to with the characters there's characters in every area that I like. There's just really good characters and stuff like that.
Can I get some negatives?
Sure.
I feel like the Termina struggles in that. I mentioned this briefly, kind of to an aside, that there are Minish Cappy type things locking you out from each area. In Ocarina of Time, you could look at every area and be you could go into every area and discover, oh, I'm not quite ready for this. In this one, it just stops you before you can even peek at it.
Yeah.
You don't get the peeking opportunity, which I like. I like being able to look at something and having the moment of realizing I can't get through here.
I can't do anything. Yeah.
Without it just being in the case of Snow Peak, you can't go to Snow Peak until you find there's just giant boulders in your way, and you're just I can't do anything here.
Yeah, no, which is really unfortunate. I think I feel it's a better, fuller world than Ocarina of Time, and they did a very good job at filling the world and just making it really good instead of very empty. They filled it with a lot of characters.
Yeah,
and that's really good. So,
I think the climb up to Stone Towers can be a little bit trouble. I was almost at 7. I don't know what it is. I was giving a lot of praise, but I'm also something feels off. Maybe it's because it's not Hyrule. I'm a Hyrule fanboy.
That's your biggest thing.
I know.
Is
I
you
love
Hyrule. You hate places that aren't Hyrule.
I don't hate.
You brought it up. You're I don't like the one from Triforce Heroes. You're or just everything. You said.
Yeah, but they called it Hytopia. If they would have called it Termina 2, I would have been sick. But if by inventing a place called Hytopia, I'm big
I think the world's fine. I think the world's really good.
Outskirts of Hyrule.
First time, did my first playthrough suck, and I hate it. I know a lot of people feel the same way, unless they're very passionate about the game.
Yeah.
The first time playing, I don't get anxiety in games, and this game gave me a ton of anxiety, just because the clock. And that's really cool, the whole clock system, and you figure out that you're not racing against the clock, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're not progressing. Because, the game doesn't really hold your hand while at the beginning.
No, it doesn't. Especially with the first cycle, even.
You're what? You don't know anything to do.
The straight fairy quest is kind of
so you're
off.
A lot of people just get stuck at Castletown. I've had multiple people on the 3DS remake come in and want to return the game because they can't progress because they don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's got a very high learning curve and a very, very high first playthrough. But once you understand the game, it's fine. I don't feel like I never got stuck, besides, the Water Temple. Well, that's the Water Temple.
Great Bay.
Yeah, Great Bay. I never got really stuck until Stone Tower. And it was just that was a pretty big wall. There wasn't a Shadow Temple kind of thing. It was, first starting the game, felt just impossible a lot of the time. So I was just what is going on? I don't know what I'm doing. And then once you get out of it, you're okay, this isn't bad. And then you kind of hit that wall one more time.
I feel this game, it has a lot going for it. On a first time playthrough, in that it is very. Once you find your way into the Woodfall area, things are fine.
Yeah.
I think that it does struggle with being, like you said, I think the straight fairy thing is a little weird. I feel having to tread water to finish cycle 1, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And you might confuse you, am I doing something wrong? I just have to wait here, and But once you recover your Highland form and you start to get items,
once you get items and stuff,
it starts to click. I feel like the time system can be a constraint for not as good players.
Yeah, because the game heavily relies on returning players from Ocarina of Time. Like, I feel it very much.
I could see that a little bit, yeah. Because I played it as a returning player.
Yeah, so it's like, when you look at it, it's just like, oh, everything's the same. So we don't need, like, oh, everything's the same. This is our most popular game. We're not going to give you any tutorial. Like, boom, you're just playing the game.
Yeah, they don't. Do they actually give you a Z targeting tutorial in the game?
I don't think so.
No, they do. It's the Deku Butler son.
Oh, yeah, him.
Okay.
But I just feel like they very heavily relied on returning players instead of bringing in new players.
I can see that. I mean, a lot of the concepts might have came from the Zelda project. So it very much feels like an Ocarina of Time like second quest type of deal.
Yeah.
And so I can see a first time playthrough having points off for that. I'm going to give it a 6. I think. I really think it's good. I think it struggles in points.
Yeah.
But I think it's still fine.
Yeah, it's not the worst first time playthrough, but it definitely is like, it's not a game I recommend. And that's like when I go off of this, like when I play, I want to recommend a game to play of a series, and I want to pinpoint in. This is a very hard game, but if you understand the series and you love story and stuff like that, then obviously I'll say, like, if you want to be edgy, cool, play this game.
Nostalgia factor. Now this is interesting.
Yeah.
Things get real interesting on the nostalgia factor because some people would throw a 10 at this baby without a second thought. Some people could care less.
Yeah, I don't. I don't see. I understand why people are nostalgic because it's so gritty and different from every other Zelda game, and that's really cool. And I think that I put that as just the gimmick, is just being so completely different and off the path. But there's nothing. I think the one thing for me that's nostalgic is the first time stepping into Stone Tower, just hearing the music. But we're not rating on music. But I'm just saying, once you enter that area, you're like, oh.
So I'm a little biased in my nostalgia factor because I want to talk about that for a second. Some of my most fond memories of Zelda-thon, I've talked about this before on video, is early marathons, like 2-3 or like that area. We would always have some sort of issue with our Majora's Mask player, like where things would slow down majorly at Stone Tower Temple. So I can remember hearing Stone Tower theme for hours and hours, and you think that'd be a bad thing, right? No, when I hear Stone Tower now, like it brings me back to simpler times. And I know we're not rating on music, but we're talking about nostalgia, and some of the stuff that Majora does, like even Terminus Field theme, like just like the way it looks, it's very nostalgic for me personally. I feel the people who would throw a 10 out of 10 at this instantly, but I also very much see the people who think like who never really got into this game, how they can or they beat it once and maybe just didn't like how different it was from Zelda, like the time system. How this nostalgia factor could be nothing because they like don't want to go through that again. I can see both.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are just like they're one and done it, or they just can keep returning and talking about it.
Some people can play this game
I just can't see it. For overall populace, like this is a really hard one because it's all over the place for me right now. Like I put in this man.
I'm gonna get another 6. I was very tempted to 7.
I was so like. For me, when I think it's like, obviously like Ocarina is going to be more nostalgic because a lot of people played that. There was no barrier to being able to play the game with having a expansion pack, which is a huge thing for barrier to entry, and the community is just like not as big. I feel like it's big, but it's not like, oh, like, hey, look at all these awesome mods and stuff like that. Look at this randomizer. Like, look at all this. Like, I don't see that a ton from this game. I just see people talking about it and loving and just doing all the normal talks, bend drown and all that crazy stuff. Like, it's not there.
Right. Cool. Let's talk fighting. It's Ocarina of Time-ish, but I think there's a very clear improvement.
Oh no, fighting did get better. I can 100% say that.
Because you have the different forms.
Yes.
And you also have the 3 dungeon items are different arrow types. Yeah. And the arrow types are very useful because the light arrows have a use in this game that's not just oh, I'm gonna shoot Ganon in the face now.
Yeah.
Ice arrows have a really good use in fights, and fire arrows do as well. And I feel like the arrow system redeems it, and I feel like, like knowing the right time to like have Zora boomerangs is different than, Goron stomp or just Deku.
Yeah. So I feel like they increased on the fighting. All the bosses are not memorable for me because they're just all not fun.
I think they're memorable. I don't think they're that enjoyable.
It's like, oh look, I'm gonna roll into this one.
I hate Georg.
Yeah, no, it's just
both 3D and non 3D.
And then just Water Temple. It's just like, wow, they made this fight harder. And
that's Georg.
Oh no, I'm talking about what's the one that rolls?
Goat.
Goat. Yeah, I don't like that either because it's just, wow, I'm spinning in circles and avoiding stuff. Like it's just.
I like Goat. I'm not wild about Goat.
Yeah, no, it's just. Like, I think, and obviously, the coolest fight's gonna be, the last fight, where you're just like, what the heck's going on?
The Majora fight.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah,
the 3-stage fight.
They did the same thing what they did with Ocarina. They made it a multi-stage kind of cool thing, it just extends, which is really cool, and especially if, you do complete it and get all the masks and stuff like that, so you have, you're just overpowered right at the end of the game. I think that last fight 100% carries every boss fight in that game, and everything just completely really high, and improving on Ocarina of Time's just fighting style. I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 personally.
Yeah, no, put me down for 8. It would be a 9 if Majora wasn't as good.
Yeah. Let's talk about items. So we could touch on this, and I think the big thing there's a lot of Ocarina of Time carryovers, so we're going to kind of simmer down on that, but instead we should focus in on, we've got 2 more bottles, which I think is a cool addition for a game like this, especially with gold dust and stuff. We're not going to talk about Razor Sword right now, but we talk about the masks.
Yeah.
Some masks have no use. Mask of Sense? Like, who are you? Bunny Hood, though? Now that's a mask we can talk about.
Bomb mask.
Bomb mask, blast your face mask?
Yeah, no, all the masks, really stick out, and I'd actually, put them right over here instead. We're talking about it.
But no, they're items. They're items.
Yeah, they are, but that's, the biggest...
well, we can reevaluate.
We can reevaluate.
And then you have the time over here, too.
Yeah, other than that, there wasn't... Besides the masks, there weren't really, they just did the same kind of items and stuff like that.
Yeah, is there any different items?
You get songs. You get to use the hook shot as a kid.
Yeah, that's cool.
What?
What other items are there? I'm trying to... I'm going through the menu.
It's just the game forces you to use the masks, which is really cool, which is not a very traditional style of you have to use these and interchange these, instead of just bombs and all that stuff. It really forces you to have to which one am I going to use today?
There's the power keg.
Yeah. There's a lot of useless masks,
but there are a lot of really cool ones, too.
Definitely.
Bremen mask.
It's just, there wasn't a ton of memorable, just normal items that just carried over after that.
I'm going to give a points for ice arrows being useful.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The masks. I'm sorry. If you hate me, I'm sorry, 7.
Yeah. It just doesn't have a ton. It doesn't have a lot.
There's nothing that I can point to that would, freaks me out.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It's good. It's good. 7's good.
Yeah, it's very good score still. Dungeons.
I love the dungeons. And by that I mean I love Stone Tower Temple. Great Bay is very polarized opinion.
I don't like... I felt just playing a game. I never got attached to any one dungeon.
I don't like Snow Peak or Snow Head, whichever one.
Snowshoe.
One Snow Peak, Snow Head. One of them's Twilight Princess.
Yeah. I just never felt really attached. It just felt through the phases of going through everything. The most memorable was going to be Great Bay because I just hated everything about Great Bay. Stone Tower is really cool. I think that's just the greatest in general. That's the pinnacle of dungeons for that game. But everything else just is not fun.
Yeah, Woodfall is not super amazing. I'm not a huge fan of Snow Peak, like I said. I think it's okay.
Great Bay is just...
I'm on the opinion of Great Bay that I think is cool. But I see the struggle. Like I'm like one of those people who defend the Water Temple and Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's not fun. And I hate the fetch quest. Like all before that, like getting the fish eggs and stuff like that.
Oh,
that's just like...
That's not on the meat, but I get you.
Yeah, because it's like going to that area. It's kind of lackluster for me.
I kind of agree. Man, Stone Tower, though.
Yeah, no.
Stone Tower! 4?
Stone Tower carried it. That's what I'm saying. Stone Tower carries this.
Who's calling you? Tell him to shut up.
Recording videos. Yeah, no, it's just... Stone Tower, like, if it's just the only dungeon. Like, it really is, because everything else just blows.
I don't think it blows. I don't think it's, like Stone Tower Temple's that Forest Temple quality to me, and then everything else kind of feels more Fire Temple quality, or like where it's alright.
Yeah.
Gimmick.
The mask thing's cool. That's the only thing.
What about
actually,
time system?
Time system. That's what
time system.
Time system. I think is actually more important. I hated it at first, and I still hate it. The masks make it really cool, but I hate the time system because even though with the song, you still can mess a lot of stuff up, especially when depositing rupees and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things you can screw up. I feel very...
The bank system is an interesting way to have to manage that.
Yeah, I just feel, like, very constrained. And then, like, if you mess up a cycle on, like, when doing all masks and stuff like that, then you have to just reset everything and go back and retry
That
everything.
does suck. I wish there was a song of, like, of quick screw up. Like an instant 5 minutes, save state that's always like ticking forward.
Yeah.
So you could have like a song of whoopsie doopsies, like the
song of whoopsie doopsies.
You know, like you miss Sack on going into his hideout, you get caught like so Link is pulled. And he whoops back.
Like, I know a lot of people, like, especially with all masks, and they're trying to do like a fun route, like it's stopping at Zeldathon. It's like, and if you're 5 minutes, like if you miss like 2 minutes, mess up by 2 minutes on your cycle, you could be 20 minutes behind on just resetting, like just waiting to reset a whole like segment.
Like the save system is real tough because of that too.
Yeah.
Like 3D improved it a little bit, but I mean
it's just rough. The masks really carry this part, but the time gimmick was really cool. But boy, does it just like...
This is going to be a potential 4.
Yeah.
That's a 4 with potential.
Just because you can just... with 100% of the game and doing stuff like that, the time thing can really just destroy you.
That's true.
Cool. Michael, cut us.
113. 113.
113 is the total for this. I know I've been really harsh. I'm actually going to give it a plus 10.
A plus 10?
I'm going to give it a plus 10. The biggest thing is just, like, how they utilize the world. Like, I'm going to go back to the world. Like, they did a very good job at it. And it made me like the game more than I did the first time playing through. Just because, like, when I first played through, I just was like, wow, this is just not fun. I'm not having a good time. But, like, now knowing how, like, it all is connected, it just is really, really cool. And like with the whole side quest on the aliens and stuff like that, like they just threw in aliens like in the world and stuff like that. So like they did a really good job with that. So extra 10 for me. What's up, Link?
Well, there you have it.
I was being generous.
That put it just still behind A Link to the Past, but above Minish Cap on our list.
No, I feel content. I mean.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
If you disagree,
if you disagree, put in the comments.
If you think some of our comments were valuable and unexpected,
let us know.
Yeah, please.
That really does help us out.
Give us the support that we need in these.
We're going to be attacked.
You need
to pick. Okay. Cool. Let's see what's on the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh. And Oracle of Ages.
Oracle of Ages.
We get to do a Game Boy game.
Game Boy game.
Let's go, Capcom.
Capcom. See you next.
Hot dog.